How's it going out there, everyone? Claddy here. We're bringing a fourth episode here of the Hearthstoning, and we're gonna go off of the pre-made decks that Ethan's already had on this one, and we're gonna go into his collection, and we're just gonna. Oh, I thought I just drew on my hand. And we're just gonna make a deck from scratch. We haven't decided a hero yet or anything. And then we're going to kind of do the same thing we've done in the last few episodes, depending on how I decided to split everything up and etc. So, into my collection. So since we've already done Druid, Warlock, and Mage, I want to stay away from those three for sure.
Okay.
Personally, when I play this for fun, these three are the only three I other play besides the Mage. Although back when there was a point in time where I was actually pretty decent at Hearthstone. Back when it first came out, back when I played World of Warcraft and everything, and then I stopped playing for a long ass time. Back when I was pretty decent, I was pretty solid with a rogue.
Okay.
But now whenever I play, as I normally only play whenever I do editing, I run my just a normal crappy priest deck that I don't have to pay much attention to. But, out of these, I'd prefer to stay, maybe these four. You know what? I don't fucking care. Cause I'm fine with anyone.
Okay.
You pick the hero.
I can explain to you what the heroes generally do right now in upper level decks in Hearthstone. So, for the warrior, there's kind of two main archetypes or, major decks. There's Control Warrior, which tries to armor up for, ever. And just tries to outlast your opponent by having more health, and then once you get into the late game, you just play big dude after big dude after big dude. So that's I love that. I'm working on Golden Warrior myself at the moment, but there's that option, and then there's Patron Warrior, which is a deck that was nerfed really, really heavily, but managed to kind of survive. It's a deck where you draw a ton of cards, and you try and just fill your board with.
I don't even know if I need to listen to anyone. I kind of want to do the Control Warrior.
Well, okay. Let me run through your other options. The Control Warrior is kind of hard, super expensive. The cards there's a lot of legendaries in it, so it is not the most beginner friendly deck. I have all the cards I use to put it, and I play a lot of it, so I'm very familiar with it. But that's an option.
And who knows? We're expecting this to be our last recording, but with the timing and everything, we could do another one or two if Ethan wants to.
We'll see where it goes.
We'll see what happens.
So that's Warrior. That's really your Warrior options. There's also some, you could go crazy aggro with Warrior, but, that's the majority of the options. Shaman, right now, has the fastest deck. It is just, this crazy aggressive, kills you on turn 5 burn deck that's really simple, pretty cheap, and fun. I play a good amount of it. I feel bad when I do because it's so aggressive, but that's an option. That's pretty much the only viable Shaman deck right now. There's also kind of a slightly slower deck that allows you to do some fancy things, but it's not very good.
So first, hold on. We got. I'm gonna write these down.
Smart.
Control Warrior.
Yeah. Patron Warrior. P-A-T.
Well, I'm gonna write down the ones that I'm interested in.
Okay, smart.
So, Control Warrior. What was the Shaman one you were just speaking about?
Just say AggroShammy. A-G-G-R-O. That's probably the kindest way I can describe it.
All right, so we got two that I am heavily considering right now.
Okay, for Rogue, Rogue has one, maybe two viable decks right now. One is, actually three. There is Oil Rogue, Miracle Rogue, and Death Rattle Rogue. Death Rattle Rogue's definitely the worst. You play a bunch of Death Rattle creatures, and through a couple of interesting synergies, it can be okay. Miracle Rogue tries to set up this crazy huge combo where you draw most of your deck in one turn and deal a crazy amount of damage the turn afterwards. I really like that one because it used to be a really strong deck, but then Blizzard nerfed it and it came back anyway. But then there's Oil Rogue, which basically use Tinker's Sharp Sword Oil, which gives your weapon and a minion +3 damage. And you use that to hit your opponent in the face really hard, and it's kind of combo-y, but not as ridiculous as Miracle Rogue. So that's probably the best Rogue deck right now. Paladin has two real options. One of them is much better than the other, and that one is Secret Paladin, which we played against, I think, when you were playing the Warlock, I believe. That deck uses a ton of secrets.
Jinx, you're a bitch.
Yeah, well, what can I do? That deck uses a ton of secrets and is a monster to fight against on ladder. It's a bitch. That's probably how I can describe that one. The other option is a mid-range version of it. It's kind of slower and defensive, but it's a cool.
You said Secret Paladin?
That's Secret Paladin, and then there's mid-range Paladin, but it's not really as strong. There's also, I forgot, a third combo Paladin, which is a Murloc Paladin, where it tries to kill your opponent in one turn with this crazy combination of resummoning dead Murlocs. So that one's funny, but
does it ever work?
It works, and it's not bad. It's the second best Paladin deck right now.
Is it hard to get?
Is the combo hard to get? It's a 1-card combo, so it's not that hard. It's just funky.
Fair enough.
So I mean it's a cool one. It does require several cards that the beginner wouldn't have. It requires a legendary Murloc that requires you to have one of every other Murloc. So
do you have
two of? I have every Murloc, so I do have that one, and that is available. But
let's see, what's it called?
Just go with Murloc Paladin, Murloc.
Yep, got you.
And then for Hunter, there are kind of two variations. There is Face Hunter, which is the standard super aggressive. Play a bunch of small creatures. None of your creatures cost more than 3 mana. Hit your opponent in the face all the time and hope they die before you do. Or there is Mid-Range Hunter, which in theory should be good in this meta against Secret Paladin for a couple of reasons, but just doesn't happen to work out quite as well. It's a fun deck. You get to play Savannah Highmanes and some of the larger guys. You also get to run some more beasts. It's the closest thing to Beast Hunter that's ever been viable. But it's all right. It's an interesting deck. Druid, Warlock, and Mage. I showed you those 3, and you said you wanted to stay away from those for now.
Yep.
So we can do that. Just to run over it quickly, Druid has that mid-range deck that I showed you. It also has an aggro variant, which we played against. That's really all that Druid has, unless you go some really heavy taunt style, which has kind of gone out of favor recently. For Warlock, there's Zoo, which is a kind of aggressive, kind of control deck.
A Zoo, I thought.
We did face a Zoo.
It was like an aggro Zoo.
Yeah, it's an aggressive variant. He was running a couple of cards that changed it up a little bit. It's interesting. I don't run that variant because I'm missing a couple of key pieces, but that's an option. And then there's Reno Lock, which is the other option, which is what we played. For Mage has several options. You have Freeze Mage, you have, which we played. You have Tempo Mage, which plays a lot of small spells and is kind of aggressive, and I hate it, but it's really strong, so I play it sometimes. I feel like a bad person every time, but it also has Mech Mage, which you play a bunch of cheap mechs, and then it's really aggressive, and I hate that one too, but it's strong. And it also has a couple of interesting cards that make some decks semi-viable and okay to play as, but they're not standard meta picks. That would be like the weird Echo Mages and Hero Power based shenanigan mages. They're just dumb. But those are probably not the best for this. And then Priest. I know you like Priest, so that one really only has one good option right now, and it's the Control Priest. It's super slow. We actually played against one in our Freeze Mage video. That's the guy we beat. He was running a slightly weird version of it, but with only one card that I wasn't used to, but it is a super slow deck that kind of just steals all your opponent's cards and tries to wait until the end game where your opponent hopefully will have run out of cards and you'll just be able to heal up and they won't be able to kill you and will eventually die. So that's the Priest option.
Just because he's slow, I think I'm going to stay away from him.
That's
I really
good.
have 4 options I'm picking right now.
What are you looking at?
I'm picking between the Control Warrior,
which is also super slow,
the
but
Aggro Shaman,
super
the
fast,
Secret Paladin,
kind of fast.
And then just for shits and giggles, maybe at the end we'll do a recording. I kind of want to try that Murloc Paladin.
I can show you Murloc Paladin, but maybe I'll need to look up a little bit to see how people are building that one. It relies on more card draw than it used to.
All right.
So
I think we're gonna do AggroShammy first.
Oh, nice! I like
just
that one.
For just to see the speed. And if we have time after that, we'll do Murloc. And then if we still want to go after that, we can make a fountain decision.
Okay, that one is really scummy. I love it. Okay, so Shaman it is.
All
Okay,
right.
so the basis of this deck is you play some cheap creatures that are strong. You have a lot of overload in this deck just because of the way it works out, and you have a lot of burst. So
One thing quick. With
Yes.
these ones, since we're going to kind of be going for time, I think we'll have you coach from the very beginning instead of having me try to run one
That's
by
fair.
myself.
Do you want me to explain every card or just kind of tell you what to put in?
Just tell me what to put in.
Okay, one
For-
Earth
for
Shock
time's
on this
sake.
page. One Earth Shock.
Doesn't
Put
matter
the
which
golden.
one.
Got swag. Next page. We're going to do both lightning bolts that I have there. And then both Rockbiter weapons. No, I gotta go golden. 2 golden. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
What are you doing? Get rid of those scrubby non-golden Rockbiters. Put in 2 Rockbiters. And 1 non-golden lightning bolt. Because you need to. Okay, now you put in 2 tunnel trogs. Just running. There you go. And then 2 ancestral knowledge. Okay, next page. We have Crackle. You're going to want to put both of them in. And Lava Shock. You're going to want to put both of them in. Okay, and then the next page has Totem Golems. You're going to want 2 of those. And Whirling Zap... No, you don't need Whirling Zap-O-Matics anymore. You can, but I don't run them. Okay, and then Feral Spirit you need 2 of. And Lava Burst you need that one. And then go to the next page and put in that one. And now you want to go to the page after this. Sorry, I'm just trying to think through the ending. Okay, yeah, and then 2 Doom Hammers. Okay, now we're at 21 cards. Yes, this looks right. Okay, go to the next page. Next page again. Now to the neutrals. You want both Abusive Sergeants I have there. I have 1 golden and 1 non-golden at the top middle. Put in both of them. And then on the next page, you want both Leper Gnomes, where you're mousing over right now.
Here?
Nope, 2 of them. Okay, and then the next page, you want Sir Finley Murgletron,
Sir Finley
the
Murgletron.
legendary. There you go, and then go to the next page. He's the only Murloc in this deck, sadly. Next page. Next. Next. If I miss any, I'll come back to him next. 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 I don't think there are any more 2-drops. Next. Okay, so there must be no more 2-drops. 2 Urgent Horse Riders. The 3, yeah. 2 of them. And then next page, we're looking for the last 2 cards. And now here's where I try to remember what they are. Okay. I'm going to click through real quick and try and
Fine.
scan my collection real fast. I have a lot of cards. I'm probably forgetting something really obvious, which is going to bug me.
Do we need any taunts or anything?
Nothing at all. So let's look at our curve. There are no 4-drops in this deck, I think. We can probably get away with being as scummy as possible, but we could put in 2 Arcane Golems, but I don't think we're going to because I'm forgetting something really important and it's bugging me.
Draw?
Now, we have our card draw in Ancestral Knowledge. For right now, we'll put in 2 Knife Jugglers until I see what it is I want to put in. Because Knife Juggler is ridiculously strong. If anyone wants to hear a rant on that, they can just watch any Rainad stream ever. That's a joke for the Hearthstone watching homies. Yeah, we'll call that one. We'll call that a deck. So type in aggro for me. And then we can go with that one.
All right.
And that's that deck built.
So, we're going to just go for this one right now, like I had just said. He's going to do the coaching right from the start, and we're going to experience
scum up the ladder.
AggroShammy.
This
didn't take me as long as I thought. It's only at
No,
15.
it's been about 15, but that's okay. If I explained every card there, it would have been
40.
it would have probably been 40, and then we would have been able to start playing. But okay, so you're against Priest, which isn't the best matchup here. You want to get rid of Earthshock and Ancestral Knowledge, because that's to Earth Shock's to get through taunts. Ancestral Knowledge is to draw cards once you're out of cards. Wait a second. Totem Golem, I think you're going to want to keep so you can play it on turn 2.
All right.
You're hoping for Tunnel Trog here. Or a Lepronome, which is great. Oh, and Tunnel Trog as well. Okay, so good. On turn 1, I'm just going to talk through... Oh, okay, he did switch out cards. So, you're going to want to play Tunnel Trog because on turn 2, you're going to be playing Totem Golem.
All right.
I'm going to explain this one faster because I'm getting into character of somebody who's just tries to go really fast and be really stupid. So, you're going to want to play Totem Golem no matter what your card is. So, and hit him in the face. Actually, I could have. You could make the argument for lightning bolting down the 2/3, and then playing Lepronome, but that's a little slower than I feel like you need to go with this deck. So, I think this is a totally acceptable solution. He's gonna probably. Oh, whatever. That's not a real issue for you.
He's trying to play this legit.
Yeah, he's trying to play slower because that's what his deck's good for. Okay, so here you want to play fast, but you don't want to play super fast. You're locked because you played a card with Overload, which was that Totem Golem.
Oh.
Here you're going to do something which is less aggressive, but still kind of aggressive. You're going to use Lightning Bolt on the 2/3 to get rid of it for free, which buffs your guy because it's an Overload card again. That's the Tunnel Trog's mechanic. And then you're going to use the 3/4 to hit the 1/3 so that you can't draw any more cards. You're going to play Lepronome from your hand just to play an aggressive card, and then you're going to hit him in the face with the 3/1. Basically, we've just cleared his board, kept your board really around. Not exactly healthy, but
How long do these stay locked for?
just the one turn, and we keep adding one more every time, so that's why it's the situation is bad. Okay, that's annoying from him, so he's cleared most of your board, but we can just...
Another Tunnel Trog?
Well, let's see, we have... The way I see it, we have 3 options here. Technically, we have 4, 5, 6, 7 options, but that's not important. So, you could...
I wonder.
Rockbiter and clear that.
Clear?
You could clear it with the minion, or we could just be dumb and hit him in the face really hard with the 3/2, and then
I feel like he's gonna clear.
he does want to clear. That's actually a good point. And then you're gonna want to play Argent Horse Rider here, which is a little scary against the Wild Pyromancer, but you're gonna want to hit him in the face with it.
He's gonna work to clear us.
He's going to want to work to clear us. The question is he going to have to?
Yeah.
And he probably will, just given the amount of mana he has, so he's healing himself, which is good. Yeah, he's going to light an Naru first. He's going to try and clear off as much of your board with spells out of the Wild Pyromancer as possible. But we'll see how that goes for him. Oh, good for him. Okay, so he's used a whole boatload of healing. And then, okay, this turn, because he's got something kind of scary out, we are going to need to clear it. So, roll your totem. Okay, the 1/1 totem's actually pretty okay for us here. You're going to want to play your Tunnel Trog out just to get something out. And then you're going to need to Loud Shock that 5/1 so it doesn't start to overrun you. So, now we're in a bad spot. We need to get card draw from Ancestral Knowledge or Doomhammer, and anything else is probably going to bust us. So, interesting. I don't think he's playing this right. That's okay. Now you play Knife Juggler and Totem again. Now we just see where the knife goes. That's the worst place it could have gone.
Clear this out.
No, you just hit him in the face with the 1/1. Because you're saving that Rockbiter weapon until you draw a Doomhammer, because your Doomhammer gives you Wind Fury, so you put that on yourself, and then it turns into, like, add 6 damage instead of add 3 damage. So he is going to win, and now you can just concede.
Alright.
Because he managed to stabilize, so that's okay. This deck is weird in that if you don't win early on, it's better for you to just forfeit, because you can just get into the next game real quick. So just click through and start a new game. And that's actually kind of an okay way to play this deck, is if you don't win by like turn 6 or 7, 5 if you're really crazy,
Lucky.
but I mean, if you're not winning by turn 8, you're not winning, especially against a priest. So this is against a druid. I don't remember how this matchup goes, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Since you're on the coin, you're going to want to keep Tunnel Trog and Knife Juggler and nothing else. Because those other 2 cards you're going to use for burst later on. And this was actually an okay hand, because you have a way to deal 3 damage to
Tunnel
Parnassus
Trog
Aspirants.
first.
Yeah, I like Tunnel Trog first. I think that's the right play, because he's probably not going to play anything here, and if he does play anything, it's going to be the things that some of the 2/1/1 treants, and if so, that's not a huge issue for your Tunnel Trog. He'll trade into your Tunnel Trog, but it's okay. It's better than him trading into your Knife Juggler, which is what you're going to try to play on turn 2.
I wonder. Oh, he plays nothing.
Plays nothing. So yeah, Tunnel Trog, easy peasy. Next turn, we might be coining out Feral Spirit. We'll have to see. He might just wrath down your Tunnel Trog, and if he does, then we're playing Knife Juggler. There's probably some world where we end up playing Argent Horse Rider, but
Not this one.
but I don't see what card he could.
Probably not this one.
Oh, he'd need to play a Knife Juggler here for you to want to play Argent Horse Rider. And that would mean he's the really aggro one, variant. So that means we need to just be faster than him, which luckily we are. And he got a slightly slow draw, so we're going to want to Knife Juggler out here, which is an aggressive move, and hit him in the face with the 1/3. We're starting the beat down. It's a really low attack value beat down, but that's the opening. Okay, and now is where Feral Spirit is amazing,
Feral Spirit.
because it buffs up your 1/3 to a 3/3, and it sends 2 9s. And that hit him in the face, and hopefully this doesn't. It doesn't, so hit him in the face with both of you guys available to attack. Okay, and Druid has you can end that turn. Druid has a huge problem with dealing with a board full of guys, unless they all have really low attack values, so they can swipe them. In this, they all have 3, so that's kind of middle of the road attack values. So right now, he's trying to wrath one of your guys, which I think he's going to do here. That's Keeper of the Grove. That's also good for him. So he has to trade in that 4/2, and it dies unfortunately. Ooh, and he gets something crappy out of it. So that all was pretty good for us.
So by turn either 5 or 6, are we gonna do Doomhammer?
Yeah, this turn we're gonna want to not overload ourselves at all, because we want to save up for an open turn 5. So,
What is when you?
overload gain an attack crystal an attack per locked mana crystal. So if you overload for 1, like if we lightning bolted, it would gain 1 attack. But since
put him out.
we don't want to overload anymore this turn, because next turn we want to play Doomhammer on curve. So it seems weird, but we just want to totem this turn. Yeah. And now we see what totem we get. Okay, it's the 1/1 totem, so it's not really good. Yeah, we just want to hit him in the face. Druid kind of lacks healing. In our Druid game, we actually... I don't know if that was the Druid game we played, but a lot of times Druid can out-heal this deck, but this guy hasn't gotten a fast enough start to do it, and you have a really scary hand, so he will need to be dealing with your creatures on the board, and to do that, he can't be healing himself up as well. So, there's the swipe. That's good for us. I mean, it's not really good, but it's good to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
It also is a little too expensive for him, so we're in no danger of him establishing a huge board and killing us yet. So this turn, we want a Doomhammer, Coin, Rockbiter on ourselves. And now hit him in the face twice for a total of 10 damage. Now you see why we kept Rockbiter for Doomhammer.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's down to 8. So right now, if he doesn't even, well, 7.
I'll still throw a 4 next. That's for sure. 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, next turn it's 4 plus 2 plus 3. So yeah, I think we kill him.
8, 9.
Yeah, we kill him.
Actually, let's put him on him.
You can't, because you're limited in terms of mana next turn. You're only gonna have 4 mana. So you Argent Horse Rider, Lightning Bolt, both to his face,
and then Rock Biter him in the face as well.
So Argent.
Don't worry,
Right
lads.
there.
The cavalry's here.
Phase.
Face, and now Lightning Bolt his face, and now hit him in the face with your hammer.
Elements guide.
And that was aggro bullshit. Kill the guy in turn 6.
Well played.
There you go. Throw him a well played. He's probably mad because that deck is a real bitch. And there you go. That's how you climb ladder for free if you have the attention span of a walnut.
All right. Fuck you.
No, it's a really easy deck to play because you just hit him in the face.
Fair enough. Well, we will probably end this one here. Do you want to do another recording for some Murloc Paladin and stuff, maybe?
I can look up how to do that one. I'll need to take a minute, but yeah, we can
All
do
right,
that.
that's for sure. So, until next time, like, comment, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you all have a great night.